Hello and welcome to the Ministry of Magic. This is a reading from the book, The Ministry of Magic, Simple Strategies That Will Revolutionize Your Life, the Mountains Are Calling series. And I hope you share and subscribe to this channel because on weekly basis we will bring you strategies, simple strategies to create an extraordinary life. We also will talk about laws that govern the brain function, as I have personally been through a brain injury, total memory loss, and recovered from that, where I have done extensive research. We will also talk about habits to build a superior physical and mental health, especially in the face of COVID-19 challenges, pandemic. Also, we will talk about leadership think tank. After all, you are the leader of your life, your business, and your family. With that, we will go to chapter 1, your why. And before we get started, I wanted to tell you why I do this. I am inspired to share these experiences because as a student, I learn best when I share and I teach, and I wanted to teach you these principles where I learn and you benefit. The second is so many people have asked me how to overcome the challenges that we all face, so I wanted to bring some comfort to you. Third, so many people want to learn the English language. Here I make available the video or through these videos, the text and also the pronunciation of the sentences where you can accelerate your English learning. With that in mind, let's go to chapter 1, your why. Chapter 1, your why. The reason we do what we do. John Maxwell, the leadership expert, says, find your why and you will find your way. And I hope that you find your way through these readings and these videos that I'm sharing. Everyone on this planet knows what they do and how they do it, but very few people know why they do it. Oftentimes we assume that we know why we do what we do, why we choose a certain career path or start a particular job. Or where do you start when you have a great idea or program that can integrate your life with your passion? You start with why. Why is not about profits or money that we make. That is the result of what we do. Why is more about your passion, your cause, and your beliefs. I remember sitting in front of the guidance council in City Adult Learning Center in Toronto, Canada, after finishing my high school diploma for the second time and upgrading my home education to Canadian standards. I was there to ask for some direction for applying to college or university. The counselor asked me, "What are you passionate about?" I thought about it for a moment, then I said, I am passionate about people. I am passionate about the environment. I am passionate about business, and I am passionate about my family. She knew my background. She knew perhaps I was tired working a full-time job to support myself and going to school full-time. She asked me a few more questions, then suggested a survey to see my academic qualifications. Then she suggested that I took business as a career path. She said you could work in the corporate world, and when you gain enough experience, you could eventually start your own company. Once you build a strong foundation, you can visit your family as often as you want and perhaps raise your own family here. I thought about it. Then I said, okay, let's apply. My why was explained clearly, but how and what were still unknown to me. You will figure those out later, she said. If you just work at a job for the money, you will have a short-lived career at the company. But if you work at a place where you believe in the vision of what they do, you may stay there for a lifetime. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Similarly, people don't buy what you sell, but why you sell it. What you do proves what you believe. When I started marketing the camel wool products, nobody had heard of the camels even had fur. But when I told them my mother's story of recovery and the relief she found in wearing the garments, everyone that needed the products became a client. All the inspired leaders think from inside out. They think about why they do what they do first before thinking about what or how they do it. This explains the correlationship between our human brain function and how we behave and what we do. The core of the brain is called the limbic brain, which controls our feelings, behaviors, and decision making. If you took a look at the human brain, you will see three distinct layers. We are talking about the core of the brain that controls behaviors, feelings, and decisions, which allows people to rationalize the tangible things that we say and do. As it turns out, there's a pattern to behavior of all the successful and strong leaders and why they do what they do. It is the complete opposite of how everyone else rationalizes their decisions. The goal is not to sell people on what you have or what you create, but to sell people on their belief of why you do it. My school counselor sold me what she believed was the best for me based on her assessment of my desires, and she knew my overall goals and dreams. If you are the type of person who likes total control over every aspect of your life, then I have a great message for you. If you find your why, you will find your way. Let me give you an example of this philosophy. In the summer of 1963, 250,000 people from all over the United States of America, the USA, gathered in Washington, D.C. to hear Dr. Martin Luther King. He wasn't the only man in America that suffered from civil rights injustice, and he was certainly not the greatest speaker of his time. By the way, he didn't send out any invitations, and there was no website to check the date and time. But how did he bring out masses to hear to hear him speak? He didn't go around telling people what was wrong with America. He went around telling people what he believed. I believe, I believe, I believe, he said. And the people who believed what he believed spread his message. Nobody showed up for him. Everyone showed up for themselves. It was what they believed for themselves, not for what they believed for them, what he believed for them. And by the way, he gave the I have a dream speech, not I have a plan speech. We follow leaders not for them, but we follow them for ourselves. Those who lead and inspire us are those who want to, those we want to follow, not because we have to, but we want to. All of those who start with why are the leaders, those that inspire the people around them. If you love what you do, you may be on track to finding your purpose in life because pursuing your why could be the key to a happy life. Your why you could keep expanding and continuously growing throughout your life. Purposeful living is not for everyone because it's not an easy path. For me, it has been a long, hard journey, but through trial and error, I've discovered some facts that I have found my way, that I have found my own path, that have helped me find my own path. Through the journey, I kept asking myself, why am I here on this planet? Then I was enlightened that I'm here to take care of my family, help my loved ones, the ones I loved, and be of service to the people who are looking for answers to their problems. I found out the more people I help, the easier and more driven my life becomes. I figured if I could help others find solutions to their problems, I could overcome all of my own challenges. I find joy and happiness in seeing other people happy. When I arrived in Canada in my early 20s, I was trying to find my way in this new country. I didn't know anyone. I had no friends or family. I started to look for organizations to join in my unique new environment. I thought I could find opportunities for myself through being a member of the community and of service to others. After graduating from college and working in the corporate world for a decade, I had reached the stagnation point in my journey. I had the chance to settle in that life, but I didn't migrate here to settle for the average life. I wanted to contribute, to build, and to play a bigger role in my new country because I came here with a vision. What would I write about being stuck in the transportation planned for the rest of my life? A year later, I started my own company in the financial services business on part-time basis. I thought it was a great service to help others protect the future for their future, the future for their families, like mine who had no one to depend on in the case of the unforeseen or premature death. I traveled all over the world and had a wonderful career run through the organization I had joined. A few years later, I found out that my parents' health was deteriorating at a fast speed. Heart problems, arthritis, and multiple surgeries. The emotional burden was too heavy to bear, and the responsibility too sacred to ignore. So I changed paths and focused on seeking solutions for healthy aging and developing products that could provide comfort for their health problems. Comfort is a good word. I wanted to find some comfort to my aging parents. I thought if I was lucky enough to live as long as they have, I would need to learn the process of healthy aging even for myself and others. I started to research and learn all that I could about the process of healthy aging. It became my passion, leading to development of unique natural fiber products for health and wellness. It took me places that I had never been. I met people that I would never have met otherwise. It led to the birth of a new company, the Camel Company of Canada. When I personally came face to face with disaster caused by a hit and run accident and a brain injury in 2013, I added another line of research to my course. The accident left me in a 10-day coma, sustaining a trauma that totally wiped out my memory. After 2 years and long recovery, I focused my research on understanding the brain and its complex, unlimited potential and functions. All of a sudden, it became an obsession. I couldn't escape from the interesting world of the mind. The topic fascinated me, and not only the learning helped me regain my own memory, but it accelerated my personal recovery. I found out that our thinking process was the key to solving the majority of human problems. The brain is the most interesting organism in the body and the central command of all health, wellness, achievements, and our behaviors. These remarkable experiences help me realize that we are always most powerfully positioned to serve the people we once were in their position. For instance, if you were 100 pounds overweight and now you're in the best shape of your life, you would be best positioned to help the people who are in that very condition. I had to go through my so many personal challenges and professional metamorphoses and that has positioned me to help others who are seeking to find solutions to their many challenges. This book can help anyone reclaim their health and wellness, rebuild and create business opportunities that could transform lives. Through this writing, I get the opportunity to teach how to create a strong mindset, overcome mental and emotional challenges that we all face today. I am in a place where opportunities are presented to me in multiple ways on daily basis. I am manifesting my new path by the practice of the principles shared here. Perhaps my experiences and research can help you forge your own way forward. Many people struggle to be creative because they are consumed by daily challenges and survival. The struggles we struggle to rebuild and recreate and grow ourselves and when we face difficulties. We are all real suspects of our own talents and abilities. We become our own worst critics, so we stick to the familiar and we get stuck where we are planted without using our creativity to make necessary changes that can help us overcome challenges we face. And all of us can have a bigger impact on each other by sharing what we learn. If we were able to master the art of creativity, creating our own lives by the example we show others. I believe that most of us really want to offer the world something of great value, something that the world would consider noble or important. If history has taught us anything, the world is an extremely unfair critic. So it is up to us to decide what we do, or whether it's any good or bad, or good or not. All we can do is to perform our best where we feel we are most productive. When we are younger, we think that life is infinitely long. We think 5 and 10 years is too long or too long. The truth we are rarely think about. We rarely think ahead, thinking that I have time. But time flies and life is short for all we want to accomplish. Therefore, we must learn to plan and act now. How we spend our days is very important. Are we spending our time doing what we love, where we can make the most impact? Most of us do not ask ourselves this question because we never think about it. I know that change is hard because the pool of burden of habit is so huge. We get stuck in the land of familiar. I'm here to challenge the status quo. We are governed by the forces of habit. Changing habits takes time, consistency of action, and real determination. We're most impactful when we unlearn, and relearn new skills quickly and over again. What makes children so beautifully creative is that they have not developed any habits yet. They do not care if what they create is any good or not. They just do what they are directed to do, having a lot of fun in the process. For example, when a child builds a sandcastle, they do not build thinking, I am going to be the greatest sandcastle builder in the world. They just throw themselves at whatever project we put in front of them, whether it's dancing, painting, building something, playing games, or whatever we direct their minds to do. Any opportunity we give them, they try to use it to impress us with their individual creativity. If we want to help our families, friends, and our community, we have to be able to express ourselves through our work. To express ourselves and what we want, we have to know ourselves and keep developing new skills along the way. This could be easy if we always treat work like play and love what we do. The brain is the most important organism that is still being researched and yet to be fully understood by science. In recent years, many professional researchers have dedicated their lives in fully understanding the brain and its complex functions. We know that the brain is the central command that directs every aspect of our lives. The brain is an organism that can grow, develop, and even repair itself and the entire body through the function of its complex circuits. Just like a cell phone or a computer, the brain is made of circuits that are connected and can be turned on and off at will. Most people will not do not know how to turn on these circuits. Do not know how to turn these circuits on or off. Whether it's the spiritual, inspirational, motivational circuits or the circuits that cause fear, stress, and anxiety. They all can be fully under our command at will, if we learn and practice to master our own brain functions. Most people are victims of their brain functions because the brain is primarily a survival mechanism. Its main job is to protect us from the hazards and dangers that threaten our lives and comfort. Our brain is an organism, not an organ or muscle, as wrongfully believed. Therefore, the brain can grow, develop, and even repair itself. Mine had been damaged and completely wiped out after a hit and run accident in Toronto, Canada on October 18, 2013. But it repaired and restored itself with the help that I gave it. This book was written based on research data and application of these facts and findings in my own personal life and recovery. I do not believe that we are our brains, but we do have a brain that can heal itself and the body that lives inside. For most people, its function deteriorates because of lack of enough education and that can help it maintain its function as in the aging process. A brain education is very important because illnesses such as Alzheimer and mental illnesses take control of our brain function and impact our health and well-being, causing multiple challenges as we age. I was able to use the principles shared in this book to regain, retain, and restore my brain function and memory. I rebuilt my physical body and functional strength by developing some simple practices and habits I developed in the process. Once we train our brain and discipline our bodies, we can deliberately and consciously evolve in many ways. We cannot separate from our childhood programming, dramas, and wounds but we can reprogram our brain to create new and more exciting patterns. After comprehensive research and my individual experience, I concluded that my sustainable mission throughout my existence would be improving the mental, physical, and financial lives of the people around me. This book was written with that purpose and grand vision in mind. The only viable way to my healing from trauma, illness, was going the extra mile to educate myself. Going the extra mile is a principle which we will talk about extensively in the closing chapter of this book. It has helped me heal from physical and psychological trauma and recover from business failures. The most important relationship that you need to pay attention and improve and maintain is the one that you have with yourself. If you are not loving you, you are not taking care of you, you cannot help anyone else. Your friends, family, coworkers, clients, and potential customers need a healthy you. So that makes you the most important person in your life. I'm authoring this book and sharing it here to give you the secrets to being your best self through a quarter century of personal research and learning from the world's foremost professionals and researchers. Life is less about constant joy and more about constant expansion of our personalities. You can be the source of positive energy and help others find health, happiness, and fulfillment in their lives and workplace. We are constantly grinding each other, trying to be better than the other person. We think that if we have more fun, we have more fun than our neighbors. We can outsmart our coworkers. Our lives are better than others. But we are wired differently. I discovered that the best version of myself was the one that was in the service of others, my family, my community, and the rest of the world. That is how I found my mentors, collaborators, and even competitors that helped me grow along my own journey. I felt best when I forgot about my own problems and pains and directed my focus to be of service to others. When I took my focus on myself and redirected my effort in helping others, including my parents, things started to shift. I felt much better when I was listening and finding solutions to other people's problems. As much as we want others to listen to what we have to say, I found out that I feel better. It felt me better, made me feel better when I listened to other people. I have put together a collection of life-changing ideas, groundbreaking psychological behavior and brain research, historic events, unique stories, and personal discoveries that will bring a new perspective to work and personal life. I enjoy reading this book as much as everyone because it contains valuable real life, world class lessons for everyday use. Most of these ideas have been used to challenge and change behaviors of peers, colleagues, teams, and family members over the years. I was able to put these principles, philosophies, and ideas to the test in the real world, and the results have been remarkable. The so called challenge is presented through two concepts where you are encouraged to think before putting these ideas to practice. This double-edged hurdle of scholarship and relevance makes this book an implicit message for real change in personal and organizational development. In the following chapters, we will also learn quite a bit about the interesting and quite complicated ways of life in the Middle East, Europe, and North America. Insight is provided on the complicated inner world of the Middle East and North American belief systems and behavioral differences that impact us all today. The internet has made the world a global village, and we need to learn from each other and how to get along better. After graduating, I was hired right out of college and began my professional career at the FedEx Corporation in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, traveling across North America to manage various teams to peak performance and production. In 2006, using these skills, we were able to build the third largest organization within one of the top financial services companies in North America. In 2013, after my mother had suffered from a heart attack, we founded the Camel Company of Canada to manufacture and distribute natural fiber comfort products for those who suffer from arthritis pain and discomfort. Right after a great start, I was the victim of a hit and run accident resulting from a 10-day coma and a total memory loss. After a miraculous recovery in 2018, I wrote my first book, The Mountains Are Calling, in an attempt to restore my lost memory, which led me to discovery of my true passion for enlightenment through writing. Writing has become my therapy and sustainability for my mental and spiritual health. I come from a family of writers that goes back centuries in the history of Middle East. But I discovered writing for my own reasons. What do you feel like is your sacred duty? What do you feel is like? What do you feel is your sacred duty? What that is your why? What are the things that you would do? Wake up in morning and fight for all day. If we want to live a life of purpose, we need to find our own sacred obsession. That is the fire that never runs out. I found mine in the hours I spent in authoring this book to be able to make an impact in someone else's life. I found the courage to overcome face to face with my inner fears and overcoming, grow through overcoming my own inabilities. I found out, uh, I found out who I really was and discovered my purpose in life to help others. I just wanted to feel better about myself because I found out the real power to feel good comes from within. Hence, any person on a mission can go through any difficulty or hardship. So let's create some magic in your life and make a lasting change for the future, for a better future. With that, we come to the end of first chapter, Your Why, and I hope you listen to this once or twice and find out your why as we go through chapter 2 and create some magic in your life. This will be published every week. You will receive one video. Please share, subscribe, and like. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Ministry of Magic.